ask you a question. When you have a personal conflict with someone, how do you handle it?
Chances are you spend a great deal of time negotiating a compromise, or maybe just argue until one of you walks away the winner.
But what if you have an issue with, say, a mechanic, a retail store, or a plumbing contractor? How do you resolve it?
What if it's something more serious? You're sued by a neighbor, need help settling an estate, or get detained by law enforcement. Where do you turn?
Do you have the power to influence a national auto chain or a multi-million-dollar clothing store?
Would you even know what to do in front of a judge? Wouldn't it be great if you did?
Well, you can. There's a visionary company that is leveling the playing field, balancing the power for you, for me, for all North Americans. The company is PPL Legal Care of Canada Corporation. Our parent company, Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated, has been working to balance the power for people just like you for over 30 years.
In fact, more than 1.5 million members and their families live stronger, safer, and with greater peace of mind as a member of Prepaid Legal.
Well, prepaid legal is the same thing to attorney's fees that medical insurance would be to doctor bills. I founded the company in 1972 because I realized that there was a real need for middle-income Americans to have access to the legal system, that they were basically shut out of the legal system because they just could not afford the price. So that's what the prepaid legal service membership does. It makes legal services affordable to middle-income families.
Some of you might hear prepaid legal and think, I've lived my whole life without having a lawyer. Why would I pay in advance for something I've never needed?
Well, it's not about whether or not you absolutely have to have a lawyer. It's about whether or not having a lawyer can make a difference by empowering you to make better decisions, resolve conflicts, and have peace of mind.
People need a prepaid legal membership because bad things happen to good people.
Many people don't realize how often legal issues come to them, but they don't see them.
Prepaid legal isn't about being litigious and suing people. It's about letting people know what their rights are in any given situation.
What this does is level the playing field.
People need good, sound legal information so they can make good, sound, decisions.
When people know their rights, they have power.
Think about it. If you were told one thing, but the lease you signed says another, who has the power?
When that furniture you just bought falls apart and the manufacturer won't honor the warranty because they don't believe your story, who has the power?
When the dry cleaner ruins your favorite shirt and tells you it was dropped off that way, who has the power?
Well, if they have a lawyer and you don't, they have the power. But who's going to hire a lawyer at a few $100s an hour over a $200 repair or a $40 shirt?
You just won't do it, and they know it. It's not about who's right or what's fair. It's about who has the power.
Well, with PPL Legal Care of Canada, you have the power. It's a balance of power that protects your legal rights.
We just don't have the rights that we thought that we had unless we ask. And if you don't know, you don't have any.
Having a prepaid legal membership allows you not to be pushed around. It allows you to push back and stand up for your rights.
It's just a smart decision to have a prepaid legal membership.
There are several benefits of the Standard Family Plan, all designed to help you protect your legal rights and avoid a legal crisis. First, you get toll-free phone consultations on an unlimited number of personal or business-related matters. Just call your provider law firm during regular business hours.
Not sure how to handle a situation at your kid's school? Call your lawyer. Want some advice before you file a complaint with the city? Call your lawyer.
But what if your problem is more serious? What if it happens at, say, 1 a.m.? Well, don't worry. As a PPL Legal Care of Canada member, you'll have 24-hour access to your provider law firm if you or a covered family member is ever arrested or detained by law enforcement. We hope you never find yourself in this situation, but you can rest easier knowing you'll have access to a lawyer if you do. This is a tremendous benefit and is available to you in every case that doesn't involve allegations of alcohol use, stalking, or domestic violence.
Your lawyer will also make phone calls and write letters on your behalf. If your lawyer decides that a phone call or a letter from them is the best thing to do, they'll make the call or write the letter. Imagine how much easier it is to persuade that mechanic or contractor when they get a letter from your lawyer.
Next is will preparation. Now, you might find it hard to believe, but about 7 out of every 10 adults don't have a will. This is one of the most important steps you can take to protect you and your family. That's why, as a PPL Legal Care of Canada member, you can have your will prepared and then have it reviewed and updated each year. Covered family members can also have their will prepared for as little as $30. In addition to a will, your provider firm will prepare powers of attorney for both personal care and property so that your care and financial needs will be properly looked after. It's important to note that there may be an execution fee for wills and powers of attorney ranging from $30 to $75 based on when and where they're executed.
Contract and document review is another great benefit of the Standard Family Plan. Your provider lawyer will review an unlimited number of personal legal documents, up to 10 pages each year. If you're buying a house, getting a mobile phone, or need help understanding a legal document, have your lawyer take a look before you sign. You might be surprised at what you're agreeing to.
And as you learn about our membership, it's easy to imagine the ways that you can benefit from having a lawyer on your side. But unfortunately, there are several common legal situations that most people face head-on without a lawyer.
Well, to be sure our members continuously get the best advice and representation, we've included several specific benefits in our membership. The first is warranty assistance. Need help enforcing a written or implied warranty? Have your lawyer make a call or write a letter.
In fact, your lawyer will write a letter or make a phone call to enforce your rights relating to the lease or purchase of any goods or services. Understanding your rights when leasing a home or an apartment is especially important, so always have your lawyer review the lease on your primary residence before you sign. You'll also receive advice on leases for other personal use property, as well as for problems arising from your landlord's failure to provide necessary services.
In many instances, we avoid protecting our rights because we're simply confused or intimidated by the situation, especially if it involves particularly stressful areas of our lives. Well, with a PPL Legal Care of Canada membership, you'll get the support and advice you need to handle situations involving government agencies, matters involving social assistance, and the often complicated issues involved with the settlement of an estate.
Another very stressful situation we'd all like to avoid is being sued in small claims court. But again, if it happens to you, or if you need to take someone to small claims court, your provider law firm is there to help. However, taking someone to court can be just as stressful as being sued, so we'll start by making a phone call or writing a letter to help you recover any outstanding debt. All of these benefits are designed to help you save time, money, and heartache as a PPL Legal Care of Canada member.
Time and time again, one phone consultation, one letter written on your behalf, or even the preparation of a will can save you enough money to pay for your membership for several years.
Of course, there are certain conditions and exclusions with each area of coverage. However, legal issues that don't fall within the benefits we've talked about are covered. They fall within what we call the preferred member discount. But don't forget, you already have access to phone consultations on an unlimited number of matters. But if you need representation for a situation that isn't part of the other areas of coverage, you'll receive a 25% discount off the provider firm's standard hourly rate. Should you need legal services that must be performed outside of a lawyer's office, you'll receive a 33.3% discount off your provider law firm's standard hourly rate. Should you need a lawyer in the United States, simply contact your provider law firm and they'll refer you to the appropriate lawyer.
So let me ask you this. How much would you be willing to pay for all of these benefits? $100 a month? $200 a month?
Well, let's turn the question around. If you went to a lawyer and outlined our plan, how much do you think they would charge? Maybe $200 an hour?
Traditional legal services aren't cheap. That's why they're usually seen as a privilege reserved for the very wealthy. But they're also important enough for us, as a society, to provide public defenders for the very poor.
That leaves 80% with a tremendous need for legal advice, representation, and protection at a price that won't affect our everyday lives. Welcome to PPL Legal Care of Canada. All of the benefits we've outlined are available to you for only $26 a month, plus a one-time enrollment fee of $10. That's less than you pay for a cup of coffee a day. And over the course of 1 year, you'll pay less than most lawyers charge for 2 hours of time. It's an incredible value.
Various attorneys general who know something about prepaid legal, myself and others, have all taken a look at the plan, and we feel like it's a good plan. It opens up the doors of the courthouse for people. It gives access to justice to people who wouldn't have any access to justice. So we think it's good that that those folks in the middle who aren't provided a lawyer, and when they need a lawyer, they can find one. We think it's a great service.